Good day, God bless you. Welcome back, guys. My name is Zach, and this is Fitness Fasting episode 20. And we are on day 11 of the Master Cleanse as prescribed by Dr. Stanley Burrell in his book, Healing for the Age of Enlightenment. First started working on this diet back in 1941 and wrote the Master Cleanse book out of the Healing for the Age of Enlightenment book in 1973 because he knew I was born in 1972, and so he figured he'd get on that and start rocking it out. Um, Guys, little motivational thing for the day, which I really love this one, and I always believe in it. And it's just you are one decision away from a whole new life. You're one decision away from your goal weight. You're one decision away from your dreams coming true. You're one decision away from a healthy relationship. Whatever it is, make that decision. And you say, I've made that decision 100 times, and it just sucks for me to tell you, no, you haven't, because if you have, you'd be where you want to be. So, guys, I finally did it, and I actually stepped on the scale. Was it this morning or last night? I wrote it down here. I can't remember. I think it was from maybe it was from this morning. It was 242.9. So we are dropping the pounds, and we are headed in the right direction. And it's calling to my mind that like persistence. Persistence will beat talent every time. Persistence will beat strength. Persistence will beat intelligence. Persistence knows no bounds. It is the victory of all things. To just drive on, just keep going. It's that journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And you just keep making the single step and never stop. And that's how you get there. Also, guys, well, I got to tie this in because my blood pressure was 126/75 here just about 20 minutes ago. I checked it. But then my blood sugar was up to 132, so it was a little bit of an anomaly there. I had the dawn phenomenon this morning where my blood sugar was up to 130 in the morning, and then even though I only drank like one, God, did I only drink one lemonade today? It's like 5:30 p.m. and I think I only had one lemonade so far, one or two. God, I think it's only one. Man, did I even have one? I might not even have had one yet today, guys. I just was running around busy all day, and now that I think about it, I didn't bring any when I left. I had my black tea this morning, and I put some lemon and honey in it. And that's what I was counting as my one. So I kind of got my calories and my tea all in me at the same time, and I took my cayenne pepper and my my amino acids and olive leaf, and then olive leaf did its job again. It worked. It took a little longer, but it worked. And I think the thing is, I'm so not hungry and kind of bored of the lemonade. It's delicious and it's energizing. But I really need to start forcing myself to get 6 of those in me a day. I mean, at least 4 or 5, because this is ridiculous. I'm completing. I only had one today, and it was with the tea. So technically, I didn't even have one. But I drank water. I drank the tea with the honey and the lemon. So I got a little bit. And okay, and then I went off base, and me and my buddy had talked about breaking the fast with bone broth, and I was at Walmart picking up a new clippers. Which, by the way, I got a new haircut, and my facial clippers had died. So I wanted to shave up my face and do my facial treatments. And so I was in Walmart, and I was remembering, let me go over to the food section and look what kind of bone broth they have. And they had this jar. I should have brought it up here. They had this jar of beef bone broth, and it was just, like bone marrow broth. It was just awesome. And it was like $5, $5.75 for a 32-ounce jar. So anyway, I got home, and I was gonna sip it in the car, and I was like, because I realized I hadn't taken any calories today, and there's only 60 calories in this whole jar. It's basically just some bone broth with some salt and some probably some preservatives in it. It's probably not the best thing to eat, but definitely not the worst. So I was feeling a little headachy and weak and tired, and I didn't want to go to the gym, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just not getting enough calories to have enough energy. So let me just try some of this bone broth. And so I heated some up, and about half the jar and kind of ate it like a bowl of soup. And so it's like 30 calories, So I don't think it's going to have any effect on this master cleanse, except for that I had a bunch of, there's salt in it, so I had sodium that I wouldn't have otherwise had. But I think that'll flush right back out anyway. So I was actually kind of proud of myself, because this is typically when I would break, when I'm just home alone. It's the winter. I'm not out doing my hiking and camping and jogging like I'm normally doing in the summertime. And it's just freezing cold. Don't want to go outside. Don't want to do anything. This will be when I just get bored and I just say, screw it. I'm getting something to eat, and I go eat. So I'm really happy that I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm using some self-discipline and just calling all my willpower and dreaming about my goals and desires and ambitions, and calling upon my whys, like, why are you doing this? Why are you wanting to fast longer? Why won't you eat? And all the answers are just positive, like, let's just stick with this. So I really don't feel too bad about it, and I may even do it again. So let's see how we do. I got 2 more days off after today, and then I'm back to work for 7 days. And then actually my 4th day of work will be the 20 days. And then me and my buddy want to eat that day or the next day. I got to look at the calendar, whenever the 19th ends up being. It'll be 7 days from now. So next Friday. Yeah, for next Friday would have been my next day off of work after this roundabout, but I volunteered to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I may go back into some bone broth on that Friday. I may eat on that Friday. I may have some vegetable soup. I may just stick with the master cleanse, or who knows? I may be hit by a truck tomorrow. We don't need to look too far into the future. So I'm happy the blood pressure was down. My weight is down. Just eating so little and having a decent amount of energy. I need to go down and drink some more lemonade, like right after this video, and I'm sure I'll have more energy. I probably should have boosted myself up, and I would have hit the gym today. But it's really encouraging me to have the self-discipline in the future after this fasting, once I get closer to my goal weight, to stick to some intermittent fasting, get that 16, 18 hours of no eating in every day, and then just eat small, healthy meals, and just don't make such a big deal out of it. Like when I feel a little lightheaded on this lemonade cleanse, which I really haven't felt, but just say I want to have one because I need some energy. I just go make one and drink it, and it's done, and that's kind of how I want my meals to be. Just something small. Just go hit it and get it because you need it, and go. Not sitting around eating for hours because you're just indulging in this flavor bonanza. It's like, that's not what eating is all about. So this is definitely one I've broken in the past, and I'm really feeling like I'm not breaking. I saw it today. I was watching some more motivational videos of just talking about it said it kind of as a joke, but it's obviously not a joke. It's eating is dangerous. And so it's like, well, it sounds silly because you need to eat to live. So how is eating dangerous? But think about it. It's so obvious, eating what we have accessible to us in the modern times is definitely dangerous. None of these compounds exist in nature that people are putting into their bodies as food. It's technically not food, like beet sugar and cane sugar, for example, are highly refined, highly processed, highly concentrated forms of food that would be okay, like beets, but then turn it into poison. Same with like corn oil. Vegetable oil is mostly corn oil. 1,000 ears of corn or whatever. It's like tons of ears of corn to make a bottle of corn oil. It's like, you're not going to eat 1,000 ears of corn in a month or a week. But you could easily use that much oil cooking. And that's some poisonous oil. So eating is dangerous, and it's making me really look at, like, overeating for me is dangerous. Eating the wrong foods for me is dangerous. Eating large meals for me is dangerous. And I got to just start focusing on, like, I can do this, and just eat the small meals, eat the low carb as I eat, or at least clean carbs. Broccoli and cauliflower technically are carbs, but nobody's going to say you're on a high carb diet if you're eating broccoli and cauliflower and different kinds of greens and lean, and well, not lean meat, but even fatty meat, I believe, is probably even healthier than lean meat. So that's, I'm just looking forward to, like, that's the kind of diet I'm gonna have anyway. So let's just stick with this cleanse and rock it out. Some of the things that just get my day by, though, like one of these cold, boring, quiet days, and I'm just don't really have the energy to work out, and I ran around and did my errands today. I sold some items I needed to go to the post office and ship, and I ran to the store and got my clippers, and I went and got a haircut, and I did a couple things, and that was my day. So I'm very interested in fasting. Even when I'm not fasting, I enjoy studying about fasting and learning about the health benefits historically, what they've discovered as far back as Egypt times, 4,000 years ago. They knew about fasting for health and wellness. And modern doctors are just becoming so aware and so open to the idea of fasting, and how it's just, because they can do all the blood work and all the tests, and they can see somebody fasting and look into their heart and say, oh my God, you had 50% clogged arteries, and now they're not clogged at all. Now your blood, your the low density lipoproteins that were stuck in your cardiovascular system are gone. And so it's becoming obvious how powerful and healing fasting really is. So I'm into fasting. I really enjoy chess. I play chess. I watch chess. I got my little chessboard here, and I'll set it up, and I'll play along on my app on my phone, but move the board, and I'll watch training videos on YouTube, teaching videos of modern openings and different, King's Indian Defense is one of my favorite lines to study right now. So just things like that, self-improvement books, studying the Bible. But just going back to the fasting, guys, just powerful healing effect on your body. It's I want to say it's almost past the point of completely undeniable. And you can't say, well, it's not good to starve. And it's like, well, of course it's not good to starve. That's stressing you out at high cortisol, and that'll kill you in a short amount of time. You can't starve anywhere near as long as you can fast. See, when you're fasting is when you have access to healthy, clean food and water and care, but you're willingly choosing to refrain from that for healing purposes. Starving is a very dangerous. People would say, like, the other side of the coin, and I disagree. It's not the same coin at all. Crashing on a deserted island that's nothing but a solid rock and having no food and water. Well, let's just say there's a spring of water on that island, and I crash there. I would know that I can live for months on just that water with my body fat, and I wouldn't be happy about it, but I'm aware of it, and I would know it. And so I wouldn't go into starvation mode because my hormones wouldn't panic like I'm being chased by a lion, like was what some of your hormones do. Like cortisol levels rise in response to panic in dangerous situations where a plane has landed on an island in the past, and they found the people 3 days later, all dead. There's 3 of them, and they found them 3 days later, and they were all dead. When they did an autopsy, they had found that they starved to death, which is practically impossible to do in 3 days unless you are just elevated, stressed to the max, that your body just burnt itself out in that short of amount of time. So that's starving. Fasting is not that. Fasting is totally relaxed and going to work, driving your car, drinking water, access to medical care and emergency food. You could, like I said, I could eat food if I wanted. And technically I'm not fasting. I'm lemonade cleansing, but so I fast as well. So I just fasted for 10 days like last month. So this 11-day master cleanse is way easier than 10 days of water fasting was. So I just wanted to be honest though, and let's see, what's the date here? I drank some bone broth. I actually ate it as soup on January 12th, the bone broth. And so we'll just check my weight tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and we'll just stick to our lemonade drinks for a few more days, and we'll be back to work, and then we'll knock out a few more days, and then it may be done by then. I'm getting motivated to try to eat healthy. I might make some goals and some little backup plans for myself. If I do decide to eat something small and then it turns into something big, then I'm going right back to fasting. Because that I know I can stick to. And if I have to stick to fasting all the way to my goal weight, well, then that's what I'll do. if I can have the self-discipline and the mental fortitude, intestinal fortitude to stick to the small, healthy meals, then I might. But we'll see what happens when we get there. But guys, just left my shirt off because I just went and did my facial scrubs and everything, and I had it off, and I was like, let's just show the guys we're losing a little and we're feeling good. And the push-ups are giving me some chest muscles, brand new. And looking forward to looking better and feeling better, and joint pain elimination, and just body aches and neck pain, and all gone, and sleeping amazing, and all the healing effects compounding. So guys, I am going to wrap it up for this evening, but you know that Jesus loves you. I love you, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.